Pat here from Dead Things, and I am at my work. This is my shop. And amazingly, it doesn't look like an episode of Hoarders right now. But this is the repair bay of the company that I work with. My office is over there, and it does look like an episode of Hoarders, so I'm not going to show you that. But anyways, I want to show you what I'm working on. This is the beginnings of the flying witch that I'm working on. And so what I'm doing right now is welding up part of the base for this. And you will see it kind of take shape as I go along. Yeah, we'll just show you as it goes along. So here we are at the beginning. So basically what I have here, 1-inch piece of square tube, 1-inch piece of square tube, 1 1/4 inch piece of square tube, and I'm just making sure it is square, and that I'm going to tack and then add on the other 2 legs here and there, and make sure everything is all square, tack those on, and then we will go from there. So you will see the finished product in a moment. Okay, I skipped a step here, didn't videotape it, but I want to show you where we are at now. So that is what I am left with at this moment. So basically I welded the tees to, or these 1-inch pieces to the 1 1/4 inch piece of square stock. So those are all welded. Then I took a plate like that, which is a 1/4 inch steel plate, and welded into it a 3/4 inch pipe. And then that pipe is welded into here. And I flip it over, and you know, there's nothing like good welds, and those are nothing like good welds. But you know what? They're going to hold. This thing is strong. I'm quite happy with how strong it is. But you can see now I can run a bolt up through the center of that. So I'm going to spend a bit more time just kind of cleaning up the welds, grinding things down a little bit, and then I think that's it for tonight. This is going to be a long project, so stay tuned.
If you did all this.
Okay, so here are a couple of the yahoos that I work with. There's one of them. There's the other one, walking away. He's walking away because he's wanted by the law and doesn't want his face shown. So, just, yeah, him. He's wanted by the law. So, before you do it, what basically has gone on here is that this is a 2-inch piece of pipe. I've taken a large washer and ground it down so it will fit inside there, and then we've drilled holes along here, and as you can see, we are spot welding them. So this is going to hold a bearing, a tapered bearing. So go ahead. Okay, so this is where I am at with this so far. We have put in a couple of washers in there, and then tacked it in, drilled holes and tacked the washers in, and then smoothed it out, and I've now welded this piece of angle iron onto this center shaft. As well, I'm also taking this 2-inch piece of angle iron. I've drilled some holes into it, and that is going to be welded on to there on this main piece. Okay, there's that piece now. It has this welded on, and on top of that, I'm going to weld something like that, and then the main shaft will go into here. Okay, so here we are right now with this part of the project. These are put on, welded on now. Welds are still kind of crappy, but there's a reason that they say a first-year welding apprentice gets well acquainted with a grinder. I am reminded of the words of the immortal Homer Simpson when he says, "That's a picture of a beautiful barbecue." Why doesn't mine look like that? Okay, so there it is. 2-inch angle iron is welded on here, welded on here. Between this, spanning here to here, is going to be another piece of 1-inch stock to rigidize it. I'm going to do the same on those ends as well. Maybe not with the with this stock, but I might. I'm not sure what kind of back kick this thing is going to have when it goes up. It may be significant, so I may want to elongate that a bit back there. But I will show you how this all goes together. So, this used to be a 3/4 inch nut. And what I did is I drilled out the threads, rounded it off somewhat. Could still use a bit more rounding, but it's okay for the time being. That slides over the shaft. This is a tapered bearing. That slides over the shaft like this. That in there is the race for the tapered bearing. And it's a little smaller than the diameter of the tube. So in order to keep that from moving around and to give something solid for the bearing to spin around on, I just soldered around that edge. Heated it up with a torch, put a little bit of acid flux on the outer edge and of the race and on the inner edge of the tube, and then just soldered in solder. So that then slides in over top like that. The second tapered bearing goes in like so, and then the other 3/4 inch washer or nut that again has had the threads drilled out on it. Okay, so from this point what will occur is, coming around on this side because this is how it's going to happen, this is the front. That way is the front. This is the rear, obviously. If that's the front, this is the rear. So I'm going to cut up another piece of metal for in here, flat stock for in here, solder or weld onto it 2 pieces of 3/4 inch, which are going to run down to here with some custom made saddles that I'm going to make. Those saddles will be drilled through this bar as well and bolted on. Same here, comes down here, bolts on down here, and then there's a long 1/2 inch bolt that runs through here that will sit on top and of course then be bolted all together from there. That is going to give this more rigidity and allow me to see how tight I need to make this. I don't think I'm going to need to make it. I think I'm going to want it pretty free flowing. These 2 struts that are coming back here are mainly for just giving it extra support. This will allow this to turn basically 90 degrees from there to there before it will come into contact with these struts, which is going to, doesn't seem like much now, but when you think that this could be as long as 7 feet out the front, That's going to be quite the swath that that's going to be able to cut there. So that's where we're at with this so far. And I'm going to leave this there. I'm not sure what I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going to leave this here. We'll talk to you soon.